Hey, this is Mike Craig, vocalist with Farewell to Fear, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews. Today, it is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Mike Craig. He is the vocalist of Farewell to Fear. New album, Voices, will be released via Pavement Entertainment on May 18th. So that's very, very soon. So, Mike, how's it going?
I am amazing, John. How are you, buddy?
Doing awesome, doing awesome. Let's jump right into this, good sir. How crucial was it for this band that you had 3 singles from the debut album New Blood on Sirius XM's Octane channel, and you had support from Howard Stern, man? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that was cool, and it was totally unsolicited, So and I guess maybe that was why it was so cool. We had the New Blood album had come out, and we were actually at the end of recording it. We were wondering, what is going to be that last song we're going to put on the album, and then we really decided, why don't we do a cover? And back then, there weren't a whole lot of people doing covers. Now it seems to be kind of the thing to do. Years ago, it wasn't kind of the thing to do, but we decided, what the heck, let's just throw a cover on there and see how it goes. And lo and behold, we ended up with doing a cover of Rihanna's Diamonds, which was not my choice. It was just one of those things that our producer, Brett Hessler, said, hey, you know what? Why don't you take a song that's out there right now that's getting a lot of YouTube hits? And this one just so happened to be had over 50 million in the first week. So we said, well, that looks like a good one. So we recorded that. We recorded it and definitely made it our own, and made it our own style. And lo and behold, when we released the album, the song had just kind of gotten out there, and we did have 3 singles that we had out on Octane, and Diamonds hit Octane for a little while, and some people loved it, some people hated it. But the reality is somehow Howard Stern got wind of the thing. And, I'd gotten a phone call one morning, and it was from a friend of ours. And she said, hey, you're on Howard Stern right now. He's playing your song all the way through. I've never heard him do that before. And I was a little shocked because we was totally unsolicited and didn't even know how that happened. And then shortly thereafter, we got a phone call from the Howard Stern show saying that they wanted to interview us. So that was just kind of a freak thing that happened, but we're so thankful that it did. It definitely helped us out a lot.
What's impressed you the most about making a new album? What's caught your eye about it, if anything, possibly, man?
Well, I got to tell you that, anytime you get the opportunity to do what we do, I mean, it's, we feel very fortunate and humble that we're able to do it. But the hardest part, maybe one of the most gratifying things when you have the opportunity to not just write and record an album, but to release it, is that you're always trying to one up what you did in the past. Mm-hmm. And that's not always easy to do when you put your heart and soul into your music every day. But I got to tell you, this new album, Voices, that's getting ready to come out, is by far the best work we've ever done. And it just took our whole perspective on writing and our style and emotions, and putting that into a work of art to a whole new level. So I'm obviously very excited about it personally, but I'm excited to have everybody else hear it, so I can hear their feedback as well.
How long did it take you guys to record this album?
From start to finish, it probably took 8 months to from start to finish to write the whole album. Which some songs were easier to write, and they took no time at all. Other ones, seemed a little bit harder. It took a little, it was. You get, some flow, and the ideas flow, and hey, before you know it, you got a song that you absolutely fall in love with, and the other ones, they take you go back and forth with them 3, 4, 5 weeks, even a month, to before you finalize on that particular song. But it was a great process. I'm glad how it all went down.
How was working with co-producer Damien Starkey, who has previously worked with Burn Season and Puddle of Mud?
Damon he's the man, and actually he produced the whole album, and working with him was amazing. I mean, one, we're very, very close friends. 2, he's just got an amazing ear. He's an extremely talented guy, and working with somebody and there's a lot of talented people out there. There really are, obviously, but when you've got a guy that can sit down, listen to what it is that you want to try to accomplish, and then he goes in and tries to pull out of you what you probably couldn't pull out of yourself, or maybe what you didn't see at first, and it kind of helps you go into multiple different directions, or it gives you that opportunity to explore different avenues and do different things that you probably wouldn't have thought of yourself. That was testament to working with these guys. Absolutely a class act. And if anybody out there has ever hope to work with somebody or looking for a producer, I would highly, highly, highly recommend them.
Yeah, and plus it's good to work with somebody that's a familiar face and knows what you guys like and knows how far to push you guys. For sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, and like I said, we've become very, very, very close. And and the good thing that I like about him is that he'll say, listen, hey, this doesn't sound good, or hey, you can go this direction if this is where you want to go, but let me throw this out at you, or and so as opposed to having somebody, because there's a lot of guys out there that will just tell you what you want to hear to get the job done.
Yep.
And that's not what we're looking for. And we went into this wanting to make the best product possible. We wanted every song on the album to be better than the song we just wrote on the album. So our filter as we were writing was from the first song was, hey, and actually our first song was actually called Voices. And we finished writing the first song, and we're like, man, we really, really, really love this song. This could be the song on the album. And then we said, well, let's start song 2. Then we started moving forward. We said, well, let's just work on trying to make song 2 the best song. And then we said, let's try to make song 3 the best song. And that's kind of how it went as a filter through the entire album. And then we ended up on Underneath My Skin, which was the last track on the album. So we were very pleased how that turned out.
Any songs off the album that stand out more to you on it right now, possibly? Because I know these are like picking your favorite collectible or child, but are there any that stand out for you, possibly?
Man, that's hard. I mean, it really is, because there's so much diversity on the album. I mean, there's some that are really driving and really heavy, and some are we all the way down to Take Me Home, which is an acoustic song, but is just as powerful as any other song on the album. And so it's really hard to try to play favorites on this one. Actually, when we were talking about which single to take to radio first, we actually had to step away from the project and let the label and the radio folks kind of figure that out on their own and say, hey, listen, we're too close to the project. I'd rather you pick it, because we're going to be happy with whatever you pick. So I wish I could say, yep, this is my favorite, but too hard to do.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Do you do anything differently, Mike, during the writing and recording process to help keep your mind fresh and open to not let the music get stale, or not to go down a path and repeat something that you didn't like?
I mean, I'm always, I think it's a lot of it's inspiration and what you're listening to on a daily basis too. I think that subconsciously kind of puts you in a certain direction, and so I think it's good to open yourself up to what it is you're reading, what it is you're listening to, those things during the process, so you don't get too stuck into going down one path. And you get down so far down one path, you don't realize it until after the fact, and you go, gosh, I did get stuck down that path and I went too far down it. Or you got to be cautious, though, not to get too hung up on it either, because I think that we've stumbled in the past from a writing perspective, trying not to sound like this, or trying not to sound like that, or I don't want to sound like this band or that band, or this riff or that riff. The reality is, when you look at all the history of the music and everything back to the roots of whether it's Sabbath or Zeppelin or Maiden or whatever it is, it's all been done before.
Right.
So it's like trying to be the band that comes up with a new sound that no one on the earth has ever heard of before is not something that we were interested in. Just wanted to write good music that just made us happy, that we could feel very proud of, and that we knew that if that was our driving force, then we knew that other people would fall in love with it as well. So that kind of helped us guide where we were going with it without going down one particular narrow path.
What can fans expect at a show from Farewell to Fear? What can they get when they come to see you? I'm a fan, and the rest of the guys, we're all fans of music and heavy music, and more we're fans of live entertainment. So knowing that that's the case, I remember growing up, every time I wanted to go see a show, it was like waking up and going to Disney World. I wanted to go see
But it wasn't just for the music itself, because I love the music, but I can hear that every day. I wanted to see a show. I wanted to see entertainment. I wanted to see the live factor. I wanted to walk away going, wow, that was amazing. And so that stuck with us all through our childhood. And so when we go to a show, we approach the show from the fan perspective, and we want to give people something that they walk away with going, wow, I'm really glad I came. I would definitely go see those guys again. We definitely bring, when we bring it on stage, we leave it on stage, meaning we're going to bring as much energy as we've got, and we're going to leave it there. We're not going to leave anything back for later. We're not holding back for the next night. Every night we're going to play like it's our last show. So if you're out there and you want to go see a Farewell to Fear show, come out, because you won't be disappointed. And another thing too, we pride ourselves in trying to connect with our fans as well. Once again, as a fan growing up, one of the biggest issues or challenges I always had, and maybe the frustration, was you could never get really close to the artists. You couldn't get a chance to, and maybe a lot of that was because they were all playing arenas and whatnot. But they seemed so untouchable that was one thing that I wish could have been a little bit different. So we want to make sure that we connect with the fans, and whether that's on social media or if we're at a live show, we're always available. I mean, if you come to one of our shows and we're not playing, I'm usually in the crowd watching the other bands playing. So we're very approachable people, and want to be able to make sure that we connect on that level.
It's the digital era that we're living in now of recording albums and plus social media to get out to more fans. Do you like this of getting albums out quicker and plus reaching to new fans with social media?
It's a double-edged sword. I mean, I always go look. I always compare back to when I say compare to old school, for me was you'd have a band come up with an album every year or two, and it was a long anticipated wait, and you didn't get singles, and you didn't have the exposure that you do today, and that anticipation. I like the anticipation, and I miss that part of it. On the other side, I like getting new music, and I love having access to it when it comes out. And so the concept of people putting out singles upon singles upon singles, and then they put out an album, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I enjoy it, but the whole concept of the digital age is good and bad. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword for me, just because I've been on both sides of the coin and I've lived both sides of that. So one thing I do like is that we were able to reach fans now. And any band, basically, that can reach fans on a widespread global scale, that we would have never been able to do that 20 years ago. It just would be impossible unless you're on some major label and there's no way you still couldn't connect with the amount of fans that you can today on digital. And I think that's great. And some of our biggest fans are fans we've never met. They're fans we've never played for. And the fans that aren't even in this country. So we would have never been able to reach those people, and those folks, one way or another, would never been exposed to our music. So, like I said, I kind of straddle the fence on that one. But I think if I had to pick, I would say that I'm definitely a fan of technology and where it's going. Maybe for the sole fact that our goal is to have as many people appreciate our music and hopefully have it enrich their lives in one way or another.
In your own opinion, what does Farewell to Fear bring to the table for music that's not out there right now?
I don't know if there's something so unique about us that's different from anybody else on the planet. I know a lot of people share the same philosophies that we do, but one thing that I think maybe shines out more than anything else that we do, and most other bands maybe, would be the message of Farewell to Fear itself, which was not necessarily just the name of the band, but it's the philosophy and the whole concept that of getting a message out there to the masses that fear is just fear is not real. It's a belief of feeling. It's a feeling of something that you believe is real, and that belief or that feeling that you have and called fear could potentially hold you back from just about anything else that you want to accomplish in life, whether that's great relationships or success or business or finances or just living a happy life. And the whole concept of dropping fear from your life and seeing what that looks like and how you can live without fear, seeing what's possible for you, was kind of our whole message and our whole philosophy. And when you listen to the lyrics or you listen to certain songs, and you'll start seeing a common theme that encompasses that whole philosophy that we hold as a band. So I don't know if that's, I know there's other very empowering bands that have powerful and positive messages out there, but I don't think there's I think they're few and far between, and I pride ourselves on that message, and I hope everybody appreciates it.
Support-wise, is there a country or a region that stands out more or even surprises you that you guys get support from that location?
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, it's still baffling, a little surreal when I go look at reports and see where some of these folks are listening to our music. I mean, anywhere from Bangladesh to I mean, I don't know, there's over 75, 80 different countries that just pop up, and places that I would have never imagined even had technology to listen to music in the first place. And so then we start getting fans and hitting us up on social from these markets, and it baffles my mind. And so I would sit back and say, wow, we need to, we need to go see these people. So hopefully we'll have a chance to do some type of a world tour sometime in the not too distant future.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you, Mike, that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there?
Great question. Actually, believe it or not, it was, I think it was my 10th birthday. My uncle came home on my 10th birthday with a Kiss Alive 2 album. And I opened that sucker up and I said, I put the album on the turntable back then. That's what they had, kids, turntables. And I opened up this and I listened to it, and I opened up this big old bifold, of these guys just cranking music I've never heard before, and just over the top stages and fire and pyros and it's just craziness. And I said, all right, this is it. This is what I got to do. I want to do this. So it was from 10 years old on, and it was over for me.
It's funny, man. You don't know how many artists that I've actually interviewed who gave so much praise for Kiss starting them on their path of music. That's cool.
It's crazy. It's like those guys. I mean, they were. Like I said, when I said, hey, there's, I mean, nowadays trying to be the band that creates something new that's never been done before. Those guys did that.
Oh yeah.
And it was a pivotal time in my life where I'd never seen anything like that before, never experienced it before, and if anything else, it just lit me up. I said, oh my God, if this is possible, this is what I want to do. So, yeah, I pay a lot of tribute to guys like that can go out there and start a new trend.
Is there a show or a moment so far that's memorable for you, being part of Farewell to Fear, possibly?
Yeah, I mean, lots actually. I think probably one of the best shows that always sticks out when I well, there's multiple, but if I had to pick one right now, it'd probably be Welcome to Rockville. We played a few years back, and I think it was just it was right after our new Blood album had come out, and we're playing the bill with bands like Alice in Chains and Shinedown and Non-Point, and there were so many amazing bands on this bill that I always looked up to, and that I'm a major fan of. That was a surreal moment for us, and it doesn't hurt when you've got playing festivals and you've got thousands of people and they're all having a blast, and you get the chance to share in that as well. That was definitely a cool moment. One of my most favorite shows.
Mike, how can folks stay in touch with you guys? Buy some merchandise, tour dates, tickets, because this album drops on May the 18th via Pavement Entertainment. How can they do that, my friend?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And guys, I mean, we're easy to get a hold of. I mean, you can go, you can get us on all social channels, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Farewell to Fear. Just Google Farewell to Fear. You'll find us. You can use the number 2. You can use the TO. However you want to do it, you'll find us. You can go to farewell2fear, the number 2fear.com. Farewell, the number 2fear.com for all updates. Sign up on our mailing list. I always try to give our Farewell to Fear Nation community first dibs at stuff and deals on what's happening and maybe news before it hits the public. And we try to stay connected that way, and we grow that way. Like I said, hit us up on social. Go like us on Facebook. Send us some messages. We are very interactive when it comes to that, and we'll definitely be able to communicate back and forth. And the album will be out, and actually it's out on Friday, May 18th. So you'll be able to get that at Amazon, iTunes, selected retail outlets, global, every digital outlet you can imagine. It'll be out there. So please share, get it out there. If you like it, let us know about it. Share with friends. You know, nowadays, it's a little bit different. You know, music has changed a bit, and if you like what you hear, don't be quiet about it. Tell your friends. Tell them to go buy the album. Believe it or not, you know, that's what keeps us able to go do what we do and continue to record great albums. And if you like that, come see a live show, because I think if you haven't done that, then you haven't seen Farewell to Fear yet. So we're definitely looking forward to coming to your neighborhood soon.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Absolutely. Hey, this is Mike Craig, vocalist with Farewell to Fear, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Thanks so much, Mike.
Hey, John, appreciate your help, brother, and everything that you do, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.